Hey you guys, it's Stephanie Richardson here. So I was giving a talk on Sunday about being grateful or thankful for no reason. And one of the things that came up is everything is quote unquote good if you perceive it with thanksgiving. And so the whole idea is if you have that attitude of gratitude, everything can be a contribution to you, which is what I would actually say instead of saying it's good. I would just say it can be a contribution to you if you have no judgment. And one of the kind of like arguments that comes up around this a lot is, yeah, but there are things like ticks and mosquitoes and fleas. Explain that. And so the person who brought that up, I said, I will, I'll ask some questions about that, and I'll see what I can have for you. But basically, I don't know. If we didn't have a judgment of it, what would we be aware of? So I was on a walk this morning, and I saw a beautiful mushroom. It was this salmon pink and ball shaped. I haven't looked it up what it is yet, but it made me think of all the poisonous mushrooms and all the poisonous things like, frogs and that kind of thing, and how in our modern life, we tend to steer away from things that are either poisonous or that we consider harmful. But I was thinking about that there are all sorts of indigenous cultures where you don't have to avoid these things, you just have to know when to use them. So there are times when we've actually used poisonous things for medicine or poisonous things to, for instance, tip our darts with. So knowing when to use the things that we consider dangerous turns them from being weapons into being tools, or tools that we use as weapons, or weapons that we use as tools. Anyway, it got me thinking too about how people are basically the same way. People have traits that may or may not be good for marriage, for instance, or for socializing, for instance, but the traits that they have used in a different scenario would be really, really useful. So some of the things that we've labeled as good or bad, it's not necessarily that they're intrinsically so, it's that the use that we're trying to use them for isn't a good fit for what they are, or their traits. So then I remembered that I also had a personal story about a mosquito that I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to go as far as to say he saved my life, but it definitely saved me from a very uncomfortable situation. So I lived in Grant Park as of last year, a few years ago, and Grant Park it's a really cool little neighborhood, and it's got a gigantic park that has a zoo and has a thing called a cyclorama in it, and has places to swim and places to play games and places to enjoy nature. It also has a fair number of homeless people that are in the park, and so most of them are actually pretty friendly. This one day I was meditating. I was standing on a hill meditating next to a tree, and I had my back to the tree and had closed my eyes and was just doing the things you do when you meditate. And out of nowhere, a mosquito bit me in the crook of my arm. Okay. And if a mosquito bites you in the crook of your arm, it gets your attention. It literally jarred me out of the meditation. And the second that I opened my eyes, there was a scruffy looking person. I won't just say it's a homeless person. It was a scruffy looking person making a beeline for me. And the second that I opened my eyes and made eye contact, he veered and went a different direction. So that is one example of how something that is usually quite annoying, being a mosquito, actually was a huge contribution to me that day. Something that somebody else had told me is that sometimes animals like mosquitoes, or insects like mosquitoes and things, bite you in places where your body requires more energy. And I was thinking about ticks and how rhinos find things to rub against to get the ticks off, but that the side effect is that they get a massage. So I'm not saying that that's a good reason to have ticks on the planet, but I do kind of wonder what what our whole ecosystem has to offer us that maybe we don't even have the tools to measure or be aware of just yet. So for me, I do know that personal anecdote, I was really grateful to that mosquito for popping me out of meditation and before I had to deal with whatever you have to deal with when somebody is making a beeline straight for you while your eyes are closed. So anyway, I wonder what the things of our life and the people of our life that seem like they're not really, they're sort of annoying, or things that we've called bad. I wonder if we don't label them that, but ask a different question, like, what can one I ask is, what can I be aware of here that I'm not currently aware of here, that if I was aware of it would show me the gift of this thing or this person? An easier question is just to ask what's right about this that I'm not getting. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving, happy Gratitude Day, y'all. I will see you soon. Bye.